I am a member of a party of one, and I live in an age of fear. These words were written by E.B. White in 1947. Decades before our current political turmoil, White crafted eloquent yet practical political statements that continue to resonate. There's only one kind of press that's any good, he proclaimed, a press free from any taint of government control. He condemned the trends of defamation, arguing, in doubting days, national morality tends to slip and slide toward a condition in which the test of a man's honor is his zeal for discovering dishonor in another. And on his staunch opposition to tyranny, he maintained, if it's boyish to believe that a human being should live free, then I'll gladly arrest my development and let the rest of the world grow up. Anchored by an introduction by Pulitzer Prize-winning historian Jon Meacham, this collection of essays, letters, and poems from one of this country's most eminent literary voices offers much-needed historical context for our current state of the nation and hope for the future of our society. Speaking to Americans at a time of uncertainty, when democracy itself has come under threat, he reminds us, quote, as long as there is one upright man, as long as there is one compassionate woman, the scene is not desolate. I've been reading for a week or so now this collection of essays by E.B. White on democracy. It is put together, it's a collection that was put together by, I believe it's put together by granddaughter, daughter, or granddaughter. But today, as my devotion, I want to offer this particular entry from this collection of E.B. White's works, and it's dated October 4th, 1952. So that's a presidential election year, and it's within 1 month of the presidential election. And the title of this particular entry is Discredit of Others. And again, I find this an appropriate devotion for us today, all who claim America as their home, and even more, those who claim the name, claim faith. Listen to these words of this entry from E.B. White, dated October 4th, 1952. The discredit of others. We doubt that there ever was a time in this country when so many people were trying to discredit so many other people. About a year ago, we started to compile a handbook of defamation, showing who was disemboweling whom in America. But the list soon got too big for us, and we abandoned the project as both unwieldy and unlovely. Discreditation has become a national sickness for which no cure has so far been found. And there's a strong likelihood that we will all wake up some morning to learn that in the whole land there is not one decent man. Vilification, condemnation, revelation. These supply a huge part of the column of the papers, and the story of life in the United States dissolves into a novel of perfidy, rascality, iniquity, and misbehavior. The writing of this lurid tale commands more and more of the time of the citizens, and there is a living in this type of work, beyond any doubt. Pegler, who candidly disavows democracy, supports himself quite nicely by a daily variation on his theme of personal iniquity and stupidity, and by his affirmation that those whose ideas differ from his own are dangerous to have about. At this moment, we don't know who is readying the 1953 smear book to carry on where Mortimer and Late left off. But a man can be reasonably sure these days that such a book is in process. All these things give one pause and make the scene ominous in a way the facts do not support. Lately, the preoccupation of the electorate with Senator Nixon's finances almost completely obscured the heartening fact that in General Eisenhower and Governor Stevenson, the country has a pair of candidates who have seldom been matched for distinction, for ability, and for probity, and that no matter which gets the job, we can thank our lucky stars as well as our secret booths. In doubtful, doubting days, national morality tends to slip and slide toward a condition in which the test of a man's honor is his zeal for discovering dishonor in another. This is always a bad fix, never worse than today. It creates a shaky structure and accentuates the basic trouble. Nobody ever acquired strength by publishing somebody else's weakness, and to look for strength in that quarter is to grab at shadows. We hope and pray that our country, after November's results have settled the immediate dust, will perceive the gravity of her indisposition and take a corrective. May the Lord add his blessing to the sharing of this entry of E.B. White's October 4th, 1952, on the discredit of others, found in E.B. White on Democracy.